A mysterious creature falls from the sky. Yuki asks the class, "What is the environment?" Shuhei answers, "Everything that surrounds us." And Mariko says everything from air, water to plants, animals, and mountains.
はい、みんな座って。
Mr. Abe asks the students to sit and answers them. People breathe air, drink water, eat food, and consume energy to keep warm. There are a lot of things we need that the environment can give us. But recently, our environment is behaving a bit strange. Shuhei says his grandmother said that in Niigata it snows less than before. Mito says the weather is unstable and the weather forecasts are often wrong these days. Kazeto saw a news program which reported changes in the kind of fish swimming in the sea. The teacher asks them how they would react if he told them all these things were caused by human beings. Yuki stands up and asks what they should do to improve the environment. Mariko whispers to Mito, wondering if there is anything to be done. Mr. Abe answers that kids' ISO 14000 program will tell them how and asks them to try the program. The mysterious creature that fell checks the time and rushes away. After school, they talk about kids' ISO 14000, but they don't really understand what it is. A creature suddenly appears from the teacher's desk and starts explaining. For example, there are useful things such as camera film and exit signs that use the same standards globally. ISO provides the rules for people around the world to use the same standards. ISO's I stands for international, S stands for standardization, and O stands for organization. $14,000 is a number which refers to standards that concern the environment. They all understand but are surprised by this mysterious creature. The creature is Ekola. He came from the future to save the Earth. The children wonder whether he is really an alien. This angers Ekola. He asks the children to look at the video. Our beautiful Earth is changing. The global warming issue is an especially serious problem. We need energy to live our daily lives. We use energy for cars and to light our homes. We also need energy to clean up contaminated rivers, lakes, and oceans, as well as to recycle garbage. Carbon dioxide is emitted when energy is produced. Our Earth is warmed by the light from the sun. Releasing the heat from the sun keeps the Earth's temperature in balance. But when carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increases, the sun's heat is trapped and the Earth behaves like the inside of a greenhouse. When the Earth overheats, Antarctic ice begins to melt and ocean levels rise. When the ground gets too dry, it becomes a desert and people suffer from food shortages. So reducing CO2 emission is a key to improving the environment. This program uses the methodology of ISO 14000, which is a system that globally tackles the issue of how to conserve the environment. This is a program for children to learn about such things as recycling laws and how to reduce garbage and conserve the environment. You are the leaders. It is your mission to improve our environment.
私たちの力にかかっているなんてすごいね。結局は自分たちの
Children are driven to do it because they know now from the video in Ekola that it's up to them to save the earth. Then let us explain how to use the workbook. Please fill in the box on the front page your school name, grade, full name, and total number in your family household.
僕の家族
Yuki's family consists of his dad, his mom, his sister, and Latte, his pet.
ペットのラテ
But pets aren't included in the number, so total number in his family household is 4. If your father lives away from home, include him in the total number if he comes home on weekends, and don't include him if he only comes home once or twice a month.
私のうちはおじいちゃんと
Mariko's question is, should she include in the total of her family household her grandparents who live next door? Like in Mariko's home, if your grandparents live next door, find out if you use the same or separate meters with your grandparents. If you use the same one, include your grandparents in the total number in your household. If they're separate, don't include them in the number. If you share some meters with your grandparents and other meters are separate, for example, if you share the gas and water meter but use different electricity meters, then write in the total number of your family member and write in brackets the number of your grandparents. To effectively proceed with this program, you should check the present situation, then think up your final goal. It will be important to go through the 4 steps of PDCA to realize your goal. Carry out the PDC as you set upon your goal, then think of the plan for the next step in A. Next, carry out the PDC for the next step. Repeat the procedure to heighten your work as in climbing spiral step. Okay, now let me explain how to check the present situation and how to do the PDCA. You will tackle the issues of electricity, gas, water, and garbage. Checking the present situation means confirming the situation in your home. Let me explain the steps of PDCA by using an example when we build a building. You will build an electricity tower, a gas tower, a water tower, and a garbage tower. First, you check how high your tower is. Please start with acknowledging the present situation. Next, you plan a strategy to produce results. This is the plan. What kind of material you will use, how much amount you will use it, and what kind of tool you will use. Let's plan a strategy deciding these things. When you plan a strategy, you will now start building the towers. Carrying out your strategy is do. Let's try building a tall tower. When you complete building your towers, let's check the situation before and after you planned your strategy. This is check, the inspection. You can see your results of your strategy. Based on your results of checks, you will think of the next strategy. This is ACT. When you build the towers next time, let's go back and remember what you thought when you were planning your strategy and use that for your next strategy. First, let's check the present situation. To check your present situation, record for 1 week how much energy you use and how much garbage you produce. Let's find where the meter is. This is Yuki's house. Where is the meter? Here it is. This is the gas meter. Many times it's near your front door. And an electric meter is often close to the gas meter. This is the electric meter. Remember what it looks like. When you can't find the water meter beside your front door, look inside the box on the ground in your yard. When you open the lid, you may find a water meter is hiding inside. In condominiums, meters are often situated together on the first floor, so check the one with your apartment number. Once you have checked how much energy you use every day, you should record the results of your investigation. Fill in the numbers in your workbook. And don't forget to circle either city gas or liquefied propane gas. When your house is using only electricity, you can't measure the amount of gas you use, so write that your house uses only electricity in the gas meter section of the data sheet in your workbook. Kazeto doesn't know how to read the meter. We'll show you how. You can find the number you need from the meter here. For example, on this meter, it will be 7,101 kilowatts hour. Is this the amount for 1 day? Asks Mariko. No, this is how much energy we have used up until now. We'll show you how to calculate the energy usage for 1 day. You can find out how much energy you have used in 1 day by subtracting the previous day's number from today's number. For example, if you want to know the usage for Sunday, it will be Monday's number 5,064 minus Sunday's number 5,040. So you will record 24 for Sunday's usage. Attention please, gas and water meters are slower than the electricity meter, but don't worry about it and keep recording your results. Yuki doesn't know what to do when he can't record his data, like when he's away on a trip or when he's ill. But don't worry about that either. For example, when you are unable to take readings on Tuesday and Wednesday's reading is 5,114, you must subtract Monday's 5,064 and divide the results by 2 to calculate the average daily usage amount for both Monday and Tuesday. What do you think the answer is? Let's have Yuki calculate. 5,114 minus 5,064 is 50. And divide that by 2. The number to be reported for Tuesday is 25. And the number for Monday will also be 25. And now Shuhei asks, what else should they do? Well, next you calculate the amount of garbage in your house. First, find out on which days you have to put out burnable waste in your local area. In this area, it's twice a week, Monday and Thursday. weigh your garbage before taking it out. If the garbage bag is large, get on the scale holding the garbage bag. After that, weigh yourself and subtract that number from the total, then you will get the weight of the garbage. Kazeto doesn't have a scale at his house. In that case, record the size and number of garbage bags. It can't be converted into weights, but you can determine whether the amount of garbage has increased or decreased. Mariko and Mito become interested. It's important for all of you to become leaders in your family. Yuki is thinking about how to reduce energy consumption effectively. That's a good idea, but before you do that, let's check what the current situation is in your home. Write in circle, triangle, or X in response to each of the questions in the 4 sections of the data analysis sheet. If a question doesn't apply to your home, cross out the question. Let's call this a family check sheet. Let's use this family check sheet to find out the current situation at your home. Are you reducing the number of times you open and shut the refrigerator door? Triangle, 1 point. Do you turn off the lights when you're not using them? Circle, 2 points. Do you dry the bottom of your pots before placing them on your stove to cook? X, 0 points. Check the current situation in your home and come up with a total score. What did you score? Shuhei was not able to reduce energy consumption at all. It seems it's the same for Kazeto, Mariko, and Mito. Yuki realizes that they may be able to do so if they improve on the points where they recorded an X on their family check sheet. They all agree. If you know what needs improvement, decide for yourself what to try by carrying out the PDCA. Okay, now let's start with the P for plan in PDCA. We asked the children carrying out the program what plans they made. Kato says she takes a bath when it's still daylight so that she doesn't need to turn on the lights, and she always tries not to watch too much TV. Dana takes the labels off the juice bottles so that they can be recycled. Hokuto tries to reduce his TV game playing time from 1 hour to half an hour. Ryuto wants to call on his family and friends to save energy.
みんなアイデアいっぱいだべ。自分の作戦をワークブックに書いて実行に移ろう。
This is Misaki Maeda's house. They are actually carrying out the program. Let's take a look at what they're doing. It seems that they're holding a family meeting and coming up with ideas.
みんなでリモコンとかで切って全然忘れてるからなんか目立つように印みたいなのをつければいいんじゃない？
At Misaki's house, an illustration is stuck to the bottom of the TV so that everyone will shut off the main power of the TV.
使ってもらおうね、誰かに。
And they're sending picture books and old clothes they don't use anymore to the flea market. How do they use bathtub water? They water the plants with it. They're now cracking eggshells into small pieces. What are they going to use that for? At Misaki's house, they did best at saving water. Why don't you try to do what Misaki did and carry out the do by saving energy and reducing garbage? You are the leader when you carry out the plan.
君たちは何をするのかな？
Mito will reduce garbage by bringing her own grocery bag when going shopping. Mariko will try not to use too much water when she brushes her teeth.
あんまり使わないようにする。
Shuhei will recycle milk cartons. Kazeto will try to turn off lights when he does not need. Yuki says he will start by changing his own behavior. While carrying out your plan during the week, continue to read your meter daily. Now, using the family check sheet on the plan page, record the readings for each day of the week. Yuki wants to know what to do next.
次は
Next, let's sum up the data for the 2 weeks and check out the results of the plan you carried out. First, open the page for Check the Results from Operation. Copy the energy consumption data and total amount of garbage that you have recorded for 7 days previously. Next, add up the numbers for the first day to the 7th day and write the total number. It's easy to do this using a calculator. Have you written the amount of energy you consumed correctly? Be careful not to write down the wrong data from the meters. Let's now compare the data from the week before you started carrying out your operation and the data from the week during which you were carrying out your operation. When you subtract the energy you used in one day during the week you are carrying out the operation from the energy of the first week, you can see the results of your plan. The larger this number, the bigger result you achieve from your operation. This number is a result of your hard work. Now let's calculate your average use of energy and the amount of garbage you produced and compare it with the national average. When you calculate the total amount of energy consumption for 7 days, divide that by 7, and you will get the average daily consumption. If you can't get a whole number, then lower graders write down to the first decimal place. If you are older, then round the number up to the nearest second place decimal. If you only recorded for 6 days, then divide by 6, and if you only recorded for 5 days, then divide by 5 to get the average daily consumption. For garbage, if you only recorded for 2 days, that's the amount of your garbage for the week, so just divide the total by 7. Now let's calculate the energy consumption per person from the number you've got for the whole family. When you calculate the average daily consumption before and during carrying out your plan, divide that by the number of your family. Now write that down in your summary page in your workbook. For example, if your family consists of 4 persons, then divide by 4. That will be the energy consumption per person in your family. Now here's a point of caution. People who have their grandparents' home next door and who share some meters but also have separate meters, listen up. Let's look at the example of Mariko's house with 6 family members. They share the same water meter, so she will divide water consumption by 6 the total number of family members. They have separate electric meters, so she doesn't include her grandparents for that calculation and divide by 4. They share the same gas meter, so include them and divide by 6. Be careful as the number of family members varies depending on the meter.
見てみて、こんなに数値減ってる。
Everyone produced different results. Some people reduced their numbers a lot, and some people barely did, but everyone worked hard. Yuki wonders what to do with the results. Let's go back to the family check sheet and write in circle, triangle, or X in each of the spaces provided for during your operation. Compare these results to the results from before your operation. Did you score better than before? Okay, now based on these results, let's go on to Act, where we will decide on next steps. After 2 weeks of operations, write about what you thought and felt in the How Does Your Lifestyle Reflect in the Data page in your workbook. When you have done that, have your family who cooperated write a message for you too. When everything is done, hand the workbook in to your teacher. An instructor will grade it for you. To effectively proceed with this program, you should check the present situation, then think up your final goal. It will be important to go through the 4 steps of PDCA to realize your goal. Carry out the PDC as you set upon your goal. Then think of the plan for the next step in A. Next, carry out the PDC for the next step. Repeat the procedure to heighten your work as in climbing spiral step. This is the RTech Evaluation Center where instructors evaluate your workbooks. Professional instructors will read all the workbooks submitted page by page and evaluate them according to what you have found, your management skills, and the data you recorded. The instructors say that they will evaluate your workbooks and give them back to you with 2 reports. They want you to refer to these reports for your future activities. After carrying out the PDCA, Mito looks at her data. Everyone else seems to be driven to do more. They all did well completing their work.
僕らのちょっとした行動が世界をきれいにするなんて思ってもみなかったよ。
みんな本当よく最後までやり通したと思うよ。
お前ら誰と話してるんだ？
Yuki says they carried out their operations using their own ideas. Kazuto frowns and says that he couldn't produce any improvement.
時にはメーターの数値やゴミの量が
The teacher is glad that everyone has become interested in preserving the environment, even though some may not have produced much improvement because their energy consumption or the amount of their garbage increased for weather or lifestyle reasons.
とにかく嬉しい
The
な。
most important thing is to think about how to avoid unnecessary energy consumption and to understand why they didn't produce much improvement.
どうして成果が上がらなかったのかよーく考えてみてほしい。
先生の
Yuki understands what the teacher says and says he will continue trying. The teacher advises them to try doing the primary level next.
初級編に挑戦してみないか？
They seem uncertain that they can do it.
ダイヤしそうになったら
Well, if you feel like you can't go on, try just doing one of them. It's important that every one of you continue the activity. Everyone seems to be driven by Mr. Abe's words. And Yuki realizes that Ekola is gone.
最後
One last thing. The activity that started in Japan is now being carried out by children all over the world. Every child's work around the world will contribute and will help save our environment. The primary level of the Kids ISO 14000 program takes 8 weeks. When you complete that, you can go on to the middle level, in which you are challenged to improve the environment of a local region. After that, you will be ready for the highest level, in which you will be challenged to develop a network to work together internationally. For primary, middle, and highest levels, successful accomplishments of the program is certified with the award of international certificates, which attest that the recipient has demonstrated the ability to solve complex problems. With the award of the international certificate, you are certified to act on a global scale. Everybody, let's join hands. We can save the environment if we work together around the world.